Hello Toadstool family, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome in to another Disney Dreamlight Valley video. After over 500 hours of gameplay, my valley is finally fully decorated, and I'm excited to take you on a tour. 500 hours may not seem like much over the last 2 years, but I did take a few breaks after burning out from playing so often. Unfortunately, that means I did miss out on some of the past premium store and event items. However, as new updates and content are released, I'll be making changes to my biomes. But here's how everything looks right now. So, of course, we're going to be starting in the Plaza. This is my city-inspired build where you can find stores and restaurants, Mike and Sully's apartment, and Remy's home. Originally, I didn't want any homes to be placed here. However, Mike, Sully, and Remy's homes fit in perfectly with their brickwork-style houses, and they kept in with that city aesthetic I was going for. We've also got some train tracks which you can craft if you have Oswald to level 10 and Tiana's streetcar from the previous star path. This is one place I never think I'm going to change, as I love how it looks so much. The only reason I'd change this is if they brought another shop to the game, then I'd end up swapping out one of the homes for it. I love the entire vibe up here with the main street path, the fountains, and the little railway I've got going on. To me, this reminds me of Disneyland Paris so much from when we went, but it also gets me excited to go to Disney World in Orlando next year. And now we're going to head on down to the peaceful Meadow, which I believe lives up to its name. Down here we have the homes of Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, Goofy, and Mirabel. Now, you may not think that Mirabel fits in with the rest of the gang, but I feel her house complements this area perfectly. It's got a little village vibe going on with the homes placed around the pond, complete with a little gazebo gathering area, wooden benches dotted around, and lots of nature. If you've seen my full video on my peaceful meadow, you'll know that I toyed around with trying to decide if Daisy's house fit in here, and this is because it doesn't really have the same aesthetic as the rest of the houses. But I finally settled on placing her here because I felt like the entire clubhouse gang needed to be together. If I could, I would have placed Donald up here too, but unfortunately his home can only be placed on water. Now, this is only half of my peaceful meadow, as I couldn't decide what vibe I wanted down here. We have this beautiful walkway which leads up to the plaza, which I'm still obsessed with, but then if you walk around this corner you'll come across my secret garden. In here is my main home, tucked away at the back with Wally's garden. I was aiming for a sort of cottagecore vibe in here, using natural pathways, lots of landscaping, and then it was finished off with harvestable bushes. We also have the Beast's greenhouse here, which I only placed as I had nowhere else to put it. I was hoping I could move it over to Eternity Isle so I could put it next to the Beast and Belle's home, but unfortunately we're not able to move things like this over there yet. The same goes for Mulan's stall, which is also in this area. This is another item I wish I could move over to Eternity Isle, as that's where Mulan resides. But it kind of works well, as I have Goofy and Kristoff's stall here as a little farmer's market area. I love the vibe in here when I come out of my home when I load up the game. It just brings me so much joy. Let's walk on down to the area that everybody loves, the Glade of Trust. When Tiana was introduced to the game, I posted a video decorating her area, which went crazy. I never expected so many people to love this area, but here we are. The full video on my YouTube is actually one of my most viewed videos, and it feels so surreal. Tiana does take over a lot of the biome here, but the Glade is also home to, of course, Mother Gothel, Wally, and Ursula. I did also add in a placeholder, which is this mushroom home here. It doesn't fully fit in with the vibe I was going for, but it kind of blends in. Across the bridge, obviously, we have Mother Gothel's home, which is not a movable one, but I do love it here, and I'm glad it's on its own little island. There's not much decoration around this, I just give it a little vibe to go with. I'm hoping we do get more villain items so I can dot them around to make her feel more at home, but for now this will do. And then once we go across the other bridge, you've got Wally's home. Wally's home is tucked away in the corner. I didn't know where to place him at first, but now I love this little, like, not abandoned, but you know the vibe of what Wally likes. And of course, Wally has his own little garden here. It's not Wally's garden. I felt that fit the vibe more up in Peaceful Meadow, but it's a garden nonetheless. And once you walk to the other side of the Glade of Trust, you'll start seeing the colours change from a swampy vibe to purple. And this is for my favourite girl, Ursula. Ursula is one of my favourite villains, so I felt she deserved her own little area tucked away full of everything Ursula related and everything purple. This area here was actually one of the first places I decorated. I decorated it last year and it's one of my first YouTube videos, and it feels like it was so long ago. And that's more or less it for the Glade of Trust. The only other thing we have here is Tiana's stall, where you can buy her pre-cooked meals. But for now, we're going to head on down to Dazzle Beach. Now, before we get down to Dazzle Beach, I will say that this was decorated ages ago. And as I've accumulated more beachy style furniture, I've kind of just plonked it down. This biome is definitely on my list to redo in a future video. There are quite a few homes down in this biome, including Donald Duck. We also have Stitch over here with his own little Hawaiian area. We also have Prince Eric, Ariel, Maui, Moana, and I think that's it, but you will see them all in a bit. This is just my main little beach area. It's just a place to come and relax with hammocks and parasols, but then when we walk over the bridge, this is where everything else is, and you will see what I mean when I say I need to redo it. As you can see, there is a lot going off over here. There's just so much going on. Over here we have Moana's fishing boat and Goofy's stall as kind of a fisherman's market area, but the rest of this side of the biome is kind of chaotic, I won't lie. So what I'll do is run over to where Skull Rock is first and show you the little jungle house build I did. I bought this house on the premium store and I loved it so much, but I did not realize how large it was. So this was the only logical place I could put it. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it ties into whoever comes out of Skull Rock. But for now, let's go back over to the main Dazzle Beach. As said, we have Prince Eric's house here. I was again unsure where to put him, but he did end up on Dazzle Beach. He is probably one of the most frustrating characters in game for me, so I wish I could banish him away further, but for now, this is where he is. We've also got Moana here in her own little area. Again, this is another bit that does need redoing, I'm not gonna lie. And we've got the beach home, which is from the premium store, and the Hawaiian home from the Stitch bundle, and behind it you can see Maui and Ariel. I just kind of tucked them away because I didn't know what else to do with them. But now let's head up to the forest of Vore. If you regularly watch my YouTube videos, you will already know how this one looks, but this is my little hidden forest with a camping area, Merlin's home, Gaston's home, and Belle's, I can't think of what it's called, cottage I think. Yeah, I think it's Belle's cottage. It's an old premium store item. But the vibe I was going for here was kind of cottagecore forest velour. Yes, it rhymes. It's even better when it rhymes. But we've got Merlin's home over here, the little rustic clock tower vibe going on with the fireflies from the Dapper Delight Star Path, which are one of my most used items. Moana, you do not belong in this area, but hello. Here's Merlin's home with books upon books stacked around. I wanted the outside to kind of match the inside for Merlin's house, and I feel like I really did achieve it. But let's walk over the bridge. As you can see, there's Gaston's home in the distance and Belle's cottage. These were the most aesthetically pleasing buildings I could put here. I felt like their colours matched the area perfectly. So there's a little pathway going to each of the homes. I absolutely love the colour vibe that goes on here. It's very autumnal. You've got splashes of green, orange and brown, and everything just fits together so perfectly. And I think that's everything for the Forest of Vore. So now we're going to walk down the pathway so you get a full vision of it before we head up to the icy kingdom of the Frosted Heights. I'm so happy I actually did this campsite area. I did it about a week or two before the Make It Camp Dream Snap came around, so that kind of tied in perfectly, and then the end of summer event was released and that was even better, so I could add more to it. Now let's head up to probably my least favourite area to decorate. This is the Frosted Heights. If you have seen the YouTube video for this, you'll understand the frustration I went through when doing this biome. It was so hard to decorate, especially with the lack of winter items. I know we have frozen themed items and we have the Star Path items from last year, but I feel like we could benefit more from a few more landscaping things such as snowy bushes and stuff like that, and I'm really hoping we do get more festive things this year so I can add more to this area to make it feel more like a winter wonderland. Sorry, I went on a bit of a rant there, but I'm really hoping the devs listen to us for what we want in the future, because that would be great. But here we have the winter castle, and once we go across here, you'll see we have a little frozen section for Anna and Kristoff's home. There's a lot of frozen items here. I tried to keep it as natural looking as possible, whilst also having that frozen vibe to it. As much as I detested decorating this area, I do think it turned out quite well. Here's a little blast to the past for me. The Sunlit Plateau was the first video I posted on YouTube. And I can tell you now, it's not really changed. It's still the exact same as it was before. The only thing I have changed in this area is the other half of the Sunlit Plateau has finally been decorated. No doubt all of this will change as of Wednesday, as we are getting a new update with Timon and Pumbaa, which I am looking forward to personally. So I will have to make space for their house or homes. I'm not sure if they're coming in one house or two. This was the only logical place for me to put Woody's home. I did struggle a little, but I felt he kind of fits in tucked here with a few of the Toy Story items, and I love how this ended up looking. Tucked away in the corner over here, we have the Seaside Villa, and we also have Jumbo's Cafe. I felt like the colours of this house was perfect for the Sunlit Plateau, so I did put it down here and decorated around it. Because it's an animal themed Zootropolis item, it needed to be in the animal kind of biome with Nala and Simba. It only made sense in my head, and I hope it makes sense to you guys. Of course, the rest of the area here is just jungle themed. I'm gonna miss this when I redecorate it, but I can't wait to see the improvement on my decorating skills compared to last year when I did this. I can't wait to see how it's going to look with the new jungle items we're going to get, and hopefully, fingers crossed, for some new landscaping items, please Gameloft. Scar's area does look a bit bare, as I do struggle here, but that's just a problem for future me. We're just going to walk straight past it. And finally, we have the Forgotten Lands. I have just noticed as well my dog is snoring in the background, so big apologies if you can hear them. They are very, very loud pugs. But this is one of my most recently decorated areas. We have the fairy godmother living here, along with Jack Skellington, and a couple of the premium store houses dotted around that fit in with the vibe I was going for. I love the colour scheme up here. It all ties in together perfectly. This was one of the biomes I have put off decorating for quite a long time, as I never knew what to do with it, but this is my favourite. I still wish it was a house skin. You can interact with the Tower of Terror and it will drop. You barely saw it then, let me do it again. Yeah, it drops, and it's my favourite thing ever. There we go, you can see it now. I've lost my train of thought now, getting distracted with the Tower of Terror. But I think what I was saying is the colour scheme here ties in perfectly for the Forgotten Lands. I know it's a very dark biome, so I did try and light it up with splashes of orange and pumpkins, which I think pulls together the entire biome perfectly. Of course, I've got my little Nightmare Palace over here with its own little courtyard. I love this building so much. I'm tempted to make it my main home. But then the end of the tour is here with my little makeshift pumpkin patch in the corner. And that's the full tour of my 500+ hour valley. I hope you guys have enjoyed it and maybe got some inspiration for your own valleys. In the future, I will be updating areas such as Dazzle Beach, so if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.